Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you game 1 in a series, and excuse me for a moment as I'm readjusting everything. There we go. Game 1 in a series between Lucifer and Ted. Not Lucifer and Ted, it's Th000 and Lucifer. Th000 spawning as the purple human on the top left hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Lucifer spawning as the blue undead on the top right hand side of Echo Isle. This is game 1 in a series, and once again, I don't know what games AxeRiot actually watches me cast, but once again, I do have to give a shout out to AxeRiot, helping me set up a new router and helping me pay for it. There was some issues when I moved, thereby making it impossible for me to even connect to XSplit and verify, making it impossible for me to cast my game. So AxeRiot, if you're watching, thank you. If you're not watching, well, I will have to try and thank you in a separate way. Anyways, Th000 on the top left-hand side of the map, as we are getting underway here, it looks like it will be an Archmage coming in from the human player. Meanwhile, on the top right-hand side of the map, it is going to be a Death Knight. Death Knight versus Archmage on Echo Isle. No real big surprise. And what we're going to be looking for is what type of game Th000 is trying to set up. Is Th000 going to perhaps go for a very, very fast expansion with arcane towers on the bottom left-hand side of the map to try and protect against any skeletal minion harass? You can see one scout tower already coming in, which is pretty standard, as skeletal minions can really do a number on gold mine lines if you are not careful. Coming down over here, you can see that there is an Acolyte making its way over, and it is not controlled by Lucifer well at all, and that is going to be a huge mistake there. Down goes that Acolyte, and what that Acolyte wanted to be used for was to try and steal that Forest Troll Shadow Priest. Now that that is gone, things are going to be a little bit more difficult, as Th000 quickly going after this green creep camp first. Alright, not quite sure the reasoning behind the green creep camp first. We can see lumber is being harvested as well as the Death Knight now on its way over. Alright, it looks like this creep camp will get taken out relatively quickly. That water elemental down to 270 hit points picks up a Tome of Agility, and the Archmage taking a rather interesting route, as the Death Knight really doesn't know what to expect here. You can see that there is that water elemental right there. The water elemental is going to get off some damage. There's a death coil onto an Archmage that was already at full hit points, so I'm not quite sure what that is really all about there. You can see that the Archmage still wandering around here, but you can see that Lucifer is in fact teching to tier 2, and he is delaying this Archmage. The Archmage generally wants to try and creep at this stage in the game, and it looks like he will be doing exactly that. And you can see Militia are already being called down over. Militia now making their way over to the mercenary camp. Renegade Wizard gonna get pulled over. There is another water elemental as the Renegade Wizard goes after and purges a different unit. Death Knight now coming in. Are we gonna be going into a Troll Shadow Priest? Yes, we are. Archmage is sitting at level 2 now after a couple quick runs of Abolish Magic. You can see that Troll Shadow Priest now down to 50 some odd mana. Not altogether that good of a position, as the Archmage is doing a great job shooing away that Death Knight. That Death Knight currently sitting at level 1 with no experience, and that is going to come back to haunt him, as a Pendant of Energy has been dropped. Pendant of Energy meaning that Archmage will have plenty of mana to water elementals perhaps as he tries and creeps out this Forest Troll Trapper Ogre Magi creep camp at this expansion here. Meanwhile, back over here, Lucifer is starting to bring over some Crypt Fiends with those skeletal minions, but I cannot imagine that it is going to be really that successful yet. We're sitting at 22 over 30 supply compared to 36 over 36. Even if the Archmage is... what's going after there? There's a Death Coil onto the Troll Trapper. Even if the Archmage gets taken down, the army is just going to be that much more superior, and with so many peasants already out on the field, it's not like he's going to be really hurting for trying to get any additional gold. Alright, there goes a raccoon there. We are going to be going into a town hall. There is that scout tower, and Lucifer has not been doing that good of a job in trying to delay Th000's particular strategy. Archmage now moving around here. We may go after this Murloc creep camp. No, we are not. All right, there seems to be a very, very large moving truck right outside my house. Yes, there it goes. It is now going to be moving away here. Archmage now coming over as we are bringing in some water elementals to go after this Ogre Mauler creep camp. Ogre Mauler creep camp, one of the easier creep camps to take that are still left and still worth creeping at this point. Tome of Agility now left behind. And we do see a Wand of Lightning Shield, which can become a bit of a problem if that Wand of Lightning Shield goes onto the water elemental and then ghouls try and surround it. But I don't think we're going into ghouls at all. We are going into Crypt Fiends, but Lucifer is currently behind 2 levels, 3-1 right now, even though he is at Halls of the Dead, even though, wait, no Lich yet. All right, don't know where the Lich is. And now the Archmage is still wandering around, perhaps heading his way over to the other Ogre Magi creep camp, which may give him level 2 Brilliance Aura. That is going to be huge with the amount of mana regeneration we're going to possibly see. Archmage should be picking up that Circlet of Nobility. Meanwhile, the Death Knight, now finally getting up to level 2, will have Unholy Aura, allowing those Crypt Fiends to move slightly faster, regenerate hit points off of creep. Always very beneficial. That is one of the main reasons why the Death Knight is such a huge part of that undead army. Alright, Archmage is sitting at level 4, pretty much on the money, 6 experience over, and we are going into an attack straight up on this Tomb of Relics. The Tomb of Relics does have high armor, 5 armor, and it is fortified, but because of the relatively low hit points, it is often a very easy building to take down. Alright, 1 ghoul already down. Lich comes in, gets a very good Frost Nova, but the Death Knight is already in a little bit of trouble. Alright, the Footman with Defend already, doing a great job, and wow, 1 very low hit point Footman. It looks like he will be able to survive that, as we are still looking at a very big engagement here. Water Elementals continuing to engage. The Footmen are getting taken down, but the Footmen with Defend are just absolutely tearing through these Crypt Fiends, and Lucifer does not want to try and engage this. Troll Berserker, Troll Shadow Priest now making their way down. 1 Footman just on patrol down over here, perhaps going to run all the way back home. We are setting up an Arcane Vault finally, and the Archmage may be able to get back home pretty quickly. Low hit point Footman there. It looks like this army is going to be regrouped and recovered in just a moment, as the Death Knight, still sitting at level 2, needs to find a way to get to level 3 for that all-important level 2 Death Coil. As Lucifer now transitions into a Black Citadel, he will be able to get that Orb of Corruption, but it may be a little bit too little, too late. Economic advantage is already in favor of Th000. The keep is going to be done nearly in just a few moments, and we'll see if it is going to be a Mountain King or some sort of Tavern Hero. Archmage does come over, and did the Archmage perhaps retrain? I'm not quite sure, but I think that Archmage, no, just going to come in straight with a Water Elemental with that Potion of Invisibility, as the Footmen are now running into the back here. That Black Citadel, very, very much in trouble, as it is not able to attack while it's being upgraded. Now finally canceling to go back into Halls of the Dead. The Footmen may need to use Defend here in just a moment, and there is a Staff of Teleportation to teleport all the way to the very back. Alright, that Archmage is now very, very much in a very good spot. Oh, down to 25 hit points. May need to use a Scroll of Town Portal in order to be safe. He does not want to get Death Coiled once more. The timing on that would be absolutely, absolutely close, since the Death Knight is that close. Alright, that Frost Nova Death Coil, we may have seen perhaps a complete 180 in terms of the game tempo if that Archmage fell. Since that Archmage is at level 4, it would take quite some time to resurrect, and it would also be very expensive to resurrect as well at the tavern, giving a lot of free creeping to a level 3 Death Knight and a level 2 Lich. Now, what are we going to transition into? That Archmage, currently sitting at level 4, does have Scroll of Regeneration and a Clarity Potion going on right now. Archmage sitting at a fair amount of mana, but this could be a turn for the worse here in just a moment, as the Murloc Tide, or not the Tide Runner, but I think the level 4 creep there, which was giving poison, but ended up still having a bit of a problem. Alright, Tome of Strength +2, very nice for an Archmage who needs more and more hit points and better mana or better hit point regeneration. Obsidian Statue, Death Knight now making its way over. Are we going to perhaps see a Death Coil somewhere onto that Troll Shadow Priest? Yes, one shot one kill pretty much, as the Crypt Fiends were able to get in enough damage for the Death Coil to finish things off. Now, low hit point Water Elemental trying to run around the corner. It looks like the Water Elemental will be staying there. Meanwhile, the Death Knight bringing over a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability for that Lich most likely. And if it can transfer it to that Lich, then that means that both undead heroes will be difficult to take down. Meanwhile, that Archmage still seen at level 4, and we are going into a Mountain King. But this Mountain King has been significantly delayed, as we can see Castle is almost done already. Archmage looking to perhaps just get a little bit more mileage out of his Archmage before that Archmage gets taken down. Let's take a look at that. Troll Trapper will get taken down as well. Mountain King could pick up a Ring of Protection +2 if he would like. And the Archmage going to be sitting at level 4, but on the cusp of level 5 by the time that next fight starts. Archmage sitting at 1323 experience. Did it not get taken down? All right, there it goes. 1338. And we are looking at the Crypt Fiends making their way to the bottom right-hand side of the map. All right, Skeletal Minion going to get taken down. Mountain King picks up the Ring of Protection +2. Very strong now, as that Archmage looking to figure out where he can go in order to actually put pressure on Lucifer. Lucifer wants this game to go as long as possible because of the limited resources on this map. If you are able to stay in low or no upkeep the entire time and you mine the same amount of gold, then you are going to be in a much better position. However, you can see that Th000 is sitting on a large amount of gold right now, and he's still somehow spending that gold. I'm not quite exactly sure on what, maybe building up triple Griffin Aviaries, and he will in fact get a lot of either Dragonhawk Riders or Griffins, as we now see a Scroll Town Portal now coming back on top of the army. All right, very dead footmen there. Meanwhile, the Mountain King trying to get away. Mountain King does have that Pendant of Energy, but that Pendant of Energy not going to amount to very much here. That Mountain King is going to be more limited by the casting cooldown on that Stormbolt. Coming back around, you can see that the Archmage may try to drop another Water Elemental here in just a second. Mountain King still sitting at level 1. Are we going for the Trifecta hero? No, we are not. But we are sitting on 90 supply cap. So the Archmage can easily... Oh, do we have Animal War Training? I do not know. That'd be a great thing to start right now if you're trying to stay in no upkeep. And you can see plenty of gold is still being harvested. About 20 gold a second, as the Tomb of Relics will be falling for the 3rd time. Now, this may not look like much, but this is constantly putting pressure on Lucifer to try to get back inside the base. Th000 has been in dominant control of the game so far, and what is he going to be happening? You can see that the Lich has come in, did a couple of quick and easy kills there. Now going after the Water Elemental. The Water Elemental may actually get taken down here, and is it going to give level 4 to the Death Knight? No, I believe it's going to be just a little shy. Wow, it did look more than a little shy. It looked like no experience was really given. But then that was just a level 2 Water Elemental, not a level 3. Let's do a push down over here. Dragonhawk Riders are in the air. You can see that they are ready to start fighting and take down this Haunted Goldmine. Stormbolt onto the Acolyte. This base is not going to get up and running anytime soon, as we are getting Animal War Training finally. Death Knight does arrive to the party in time, and the Death Knight will get to level 4, which is a very big deal. By getting to level 4, level 2 Unholy Aura, better passive regeneration, and just better movement speed overall, it is going to allow the Death Knight to try and catch up into those all-important fights. The Archmage is sitting at level 4 as well, so the hero level, even though there is a good amount of experience difference between these two players, isn't going to really show itself unless that Archmage does get to level 5. I do believe that the Lich is already level 3, so it is a 4-3 compared to a 4-1. And that is a real telltale sign now of 4-2. So there is a slight hero advantage for the Death Knight here. So 4-3 compared to 4-2. And somehow the undead army able to come back over the top. But we are now going into Griffins. Griffins, very difficult to deal with. But then again, there are no knights on the field. That means that these Crypt Fiends should be able to web down these Griffins rather easily, as we now finally start seeing some knights being added. Knights are extremely strong. Paladin is in play as well. Mountain King looking to get to level 3, I believe. Yes, there is that Mountain King there. And I do not believe the Mountain King is going to get to level 3 just quite yet. Needs a little bit more experience, but there is none on the map to be had, as the Archmage, still seen at level 4, now picks up some extra items as well. 4-2-1 compared to a 4-3, but it is much, much easier for the human player to level up right now than the undead, and that may be the big play here. Archmage now running on inside. Knight is ready to go. Are we going to see an engagement? There is a Water Elemental. Are we going to see a Stormbolt? Yes, Stormbolt onto a Crypt Fiend. That Crypt Fiend needs to get taken down, as we now see some Destroyers being brought over. All right, there goes. Oh, that was a Dark Ritual to try and deny the experience. Very good call there, as another web, and web is coming in. So far, 2 webs have gone down, but there just doesn't seem to be enough damage whatsoever. The Crypt Fiends now trying to back off, or as they are getting chased down by so many knights. All right, the Destroyers are now currently engaging, and the Destroyers, there are a good number of them. Are we going to perhaps see a Devour Magic? Yes, we are, and the Destroyers are actually doing a great job in this battle. All right, there is a lot of Griffins here, and we can see that the Destroyers are just going after units. Perhaps if they can take down a Knight or two, or a Footman or 2, that would actually make a very big difference. Oh, denying that Knight, so no experience, or that Footman, so no experience was given. All right, let's take a look. Are we going to perhaps see, yes, there is some Devour Magic there, some Devour Magic there again. Not quite exactly sure what happened. The Death Knight now still seen at level 4. The Lich should be at level 4 or very close. Yes, at level 4 as well. Are we going to see a Frost Nova? And there goes another unit. So far, the Thunderclap did slow down a lot of the units. The Griffins are now still trying to engage. And there in comes the Shackles to try and shut down those Gargoyles. All right, I believe this is going to be the GG, though. There is a Thunderclap. There was a Stormbolt, as the Death Knight does stay alive ever so barely. There is a Death Coil. And there is the GG. Lucifer losing game 1, mainly because of the economic difference. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.